Yeah. The last video I made, I told you that there are offenses you commit by omission, commission, or ignorance, however, you can be pardoned. And some of them you might not be pardoned, that you face the wrath of the law. And I promise to tell you something about that in my next video. See, my video is because of some young people who wants to leave the country, and also students who are traveling to their various destinations. Please don't ever engage into an unknown offense that they don't care if you know or if you don't know. Don't try to engage. I'll give you illustrations of some of these offenses. Let me use myself as an example and give you some illustrations. I was driving a car purchased by a friend. He just bought the car, and I was to drive it home, and he's still on the process of doing ownership transfer, some other documents. So while I was driving the car, the police stopped me. The CID has already seen from the plate that this car is not fully documented. So he stopped me and requested for my license and insurance. So I gave him my license. I told him that this car is just purchased. We are still on ownership transfer. We want to make some fixing, then we go for testing and all these things. The policeman looked at me and laughed. And he said, this, and that. There are some certain things that you're supposed to do before you bring out this road, before you bring out this car in the road. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And I wasn't expecting that he would give me fine. I was thinking that if he would issue any fine, he would put the fine on the vehicle. But he put the fine on me because he said I'm the one driving. You see? Though I was only fined $100, which is fair enough compared to what he's supposed to fine me. So the severity is not much, $100. This is one example of an offense that you can commit. You might be pardoned to some point. But the areas where you can commit an offense that cannot be pardoned is offenses that you commit at the immigration or border control officers. These offenses are considered a threat to the national security. They will never pardon you. Whether you know or you don't know, you must face the wrath of the law. For example, if you are a student traveling to school, have good information of what you are going to do. Yes, we know that you are going to school. You have your admissions. Haven't you heard about students who were sent back at the border? Have good information of what you are going to study. Because some of these students, they didn't get this admission by themselves. Agency got them this admission. And the purpose of them traveling to school is just an opportunity or the fastest means that will get them a traveling document to travel. If you allow them in the real sense, they rather go and hustle or go on work permit to get money. So sometimes they don't even have good information of what they are going to study. Information about what they are going to study is where your school is, where you are going when you arrive at the airport, what you are studying, information, good information around what you're going to do, because these are some of the questions that the border control personnel might ask you. And if you are misusing words, he will consider you as a threat to the national security and keep you aside. And you know what? You don't like to be delayed in the border, because when you get there are so many queue there. You wouldn't want to be delayed. So you'd better get your information straight. And in addition, especially students traveling to some of these countries that they don't speak English properly, and they have some certain documents that has to do with your traveling that those immigration borders need to read. I think the best approach is to find a translator and translate those documents so that they can see. I have had such experience somewhere at Havana where my documents were not, they speak Spanish. Documents are in English language, so they find it difficult to read what is in my document. So it caused me a lot of delay. So to avoid all these certain things, you can translate some of your documents if possible, so that when you get to those immigration borders and all these things, they should be able to read and understand what you have in their language. So that is one. Get your information straight so that to avoid delay. Because when your informations are not straight, they will begin to suspect some other things about you. Maybe in your luggage. Do you understand? If you are traveling, somebody will tell you, oh, my uncle will give you something that you bring for me. I didn't say you shouldn't collect anything from somebody. Collect something from somebody. But my advice is this: whoever that is giving you something to take to somebody where you are going to, tell the person not to package it. You will package it yourself. That is if you want to take it. Or if the person packaged it and brought it to you before you travel, unpack it and repackage it, because you don't know what is contraband in the country where you are going. In some countries, they have legalized Indian hemp, and you might think that in your country that Indian hemp is legalized, and you are going to another country with Indian hemp, you will go to jail. You go to jail. So just make sure that whatever you are traveling with that is not your own, that you are taking to somebody, make sure you have good information of what is inside there. Package it by yourself so that you can defend it when maybe if questions arise. So if you are traveling with foodstuff for the first time, I will advise you, Nigerians can travel with foodstuff, egusi, ogbono, oil, and this and that. The best thing to do is, for the first time you are traveling, especially if you are traveling to a country where the presence of Nigerians are not much, that means the border control, they don't really know about stuffs about Nigeria and the kind of things they travel with, their foodstuff they travel with. I will advise you, all your foodstuff, don't blend it. Like your egusi, don't blend it, leave it raw. Your ogbono, don't blend it, leave it raw. Some of the vegetables you are going, preserve it in such a manner that it can be visibly seen. If you blend your egusi, the immigration border control might be thinking that there are other substances attached to it, and that can cause you delay. And especially if it is someone that gave it to you, you don't know what is added to that. And if they dictate it in their X-ray machine, you are in problem. So I will advise you, for the first time, especially if you are going to a country that Nigerian presence is not much there. Nigeria is everywhere. That Nigerian presence or your country presence is not much there. So they are not familiar with the kind of things that Nigerians travel with or your country travel with. Don't blend those foodstuffs. Just leave it raw like that. And clearly label it. If you don't know the English name, try to find the botanical name and clearly label it. Package it properly, so that when they get there, if they suspect anything, they will see it plain and clear. They can check the internet and check the system and say, okay, we know what it is, we know what is that, you can go. Do you understand? There are so many instances that I can give you. The third one is this. Some people feel that they are, what is it called? Some people feel that their destiny helper, they will meet them at the airport, especially for first-time travelers. I'm not saying that you can't meet people that will help you at the airport. Me, I have met several people that have helped me at the airport. But don't put it in your head that you will meet a friend or maybe he will be the one to help you. No. Because that person that you will meet that will help you might be the person that will cause you problem. So what I'm trying to say in the sense that don't look after anything for somebody. You have met somebody and you are talking fine, and he tells you, please, I'm coming. This is my bag. Let me go and ease myself. Especially when you are on transit, that you have a long layover, and he tells you, please, I'm coming. Look after my bag. I'm coming. Let me go and ease myself. And you are looking after somebody's bag. I'm sorry. Unknowingly, you are committing an offense, and if you are caught, maybe there is a substance inside the bag, and it happens to be that it was in your custody when you were caught. Or even if you are not caught at the scene and they later caught the man holding the bag, you will be implicated also, because you have been with him throughout that period. They will assume that all of you are the same. So please don't look after any bag for somebody. If the person lifts his bag and says that he's going to ease himself, just tell him, oh, me too, I'm going there, let's go together. And if you're in a place and you discover there are bags over there where you are seated, and you discover that there are bags there, kindly leave those bags there and go to another place and stay. Don't put yourself in a situation that will cause you commit an offense that you don't know about, that tends to be a threat to a sovereign nation, national security. I'll be talking about some other things in my next video. Let us keep it there. Thank you. So please, if you like this video and it provides value to you, please kindly share it to another person so other people can benefit.